Hello, fellow gamers. This is Tim, Samwise7, and this is kind of an addendum to my Changeling the Lost six-part ramble. This one's inside because it's currently raining outside right now, and I don't really feel like getting wet. So there's a few errors I made. I already cleared up the whole Vainglory contract for the Spring Court because that wasn't true. So I fixed that one in the video itself. But there's a few other things that I wanted to say about Changeling. I ignored talking about entitlements, which are in the back of the book. I kind of saw them as unnecessary. I don't really think that you need to have them. But they are kind of like an end game, something to look forward to or work for. I guess for me, I was so burned out on prestige classes in Dungeons and Dragons that I kind of saw them in a similar vein. They aren't as complex, and they only give a very small benefit, but they're more of a social role-playing thing to work towards. So I can see some people liking entitlements. In some way, I kind of saw them as sort of putting like chocolate sauce on chocolate ice cream. if you pick certain seemings and certain courts, the entitlements kind of seemed like they were just unnecessary, like you didn't really need them. So I really didn't focus that much attention on them. But you might have a different opinion, and you might actually really like entitlements. But that's up to you. You know, we all have our own opinions on things. Another thing I want to talk about is if the actual players themselves have ever been abused in any way in their life, they might not like this game. The themes might be too close for comfort, and it might bring back bad memories. For me, I was also abused. I'm not really going to go into the details of that, but for me, it helps me to, I think, work through some of those feelings in a positive way. I don't go too over the top with that sort of thing normally in most games, but for me, it doesn't bother me. In a weird way, it's almost comforting that I can work through these emotions in a player or in a character's life. In a fantasy world, with changelings and strange things going on, and even if I deal with them a little bit, it doesn't have just the theme of just abuse in general. I like working through, but that's not for everyone. Depending on how badly you were abused, it might be too much for you. So that is something to think about if you're a GM going to run the game, that some players might be uncomfortable with the themes. See, where I was more, I was a little bit uncomfortable with some of the vampire themes and, some of those themes. For me, this is just more comfortable. And just playing with emotions and running with emotions in a game, I just found more appealing. So, but to each his own. Don't, if you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. Don't, play another game. That's perfectly fine. We're here to have fun, and if you're not having fun or if it's just uncomfortable in any way, find something else to play. So, but that's something to think about. So talk about entitlements. In the back of the book is a Miami setting, which is I don't know if it really emphasizes the Changeling, the whole Changeling game very well, because they have one court that is constantly in control, and that's kind of one of the main contentions of the setting, is that they're supposed to change every 3 months and they're not. So it's different than the rules portray, and in some ways that's good, in some ways it's bad. It kind of points out that it's supposed to be this way, and in Miami it's different. The summer court rules all the time, and he's kind of a tyrant. So as far as like the game, like the actual story goes, when you're running, that actually might be pretty good. So I don't know. You might want to check that out and decide if you want to role play in Miami or if you want to role play in your own hometown. You can make a choice in that for yourself. I kind of skipped over harvesting glamour. I forgot to mention that your court's emotion, you're better at harvesting that emotion than other emotions. You can harvest any emotion you want. It's just because of your court specialization in one of the emotions, you're better at harvesting that. And there's a harvesting role. I can't really think what the attribute and skill is at this time. I think empathy is one of the ones that was suggested as as a skill. I can't remember what the attribute is, but it's not that hard to find in the book. I really apologize for my cough. I'm kind of new at making these videos, and I probably should have just stopped, got something to drink and came back. And I really apologize about the cough. I know some people said that it was actually painful for them to watch the videos because the cough was so loud compared to how I was normally discussing the game itself. So I'm picturing people at home with the headset on and the volume all the way up, and then I coughed right in their ears. So I apologize for that. I do have some video editing software. I really haven't done anything with it. Most of my videos are just one take, and sometimes I make mistakes, and I just kind of live with them. I really should learn how to use some of that software. I think I just have one right on my computer, but in the end, Changeling is a very interesting game to me, and I pretty much pointed that out. And I'm really looking forward to running it. I might mess up, and hopefully my players will be understanding if I tell them to roll the wrong thing, or if I have a simplified version of something that's in the game. But I think that's pretty much most of the stuff I didn't cover. I didn't really go into the verbal agreements, the pledges, because like I said, I don't like the way that the Changeling rules present them. But basically, for pledges, you can go through a process where you have things that you need to do. They're called tasks, and you get good things, which are boons, and there's penalties if you don't follow through with the pledge. And that's basically weird is kind of like the judge. Like if you fail and you break a pledge, there's this nasty side effect that happens to you, and the weird is what actually makes that happen. So, and I told you that's because changelings don't trust each other, that they use these pledges. But that's pretty much about it. I hope hopefully everyone enjoyed the Changeling videos. I apologize about the coughing, and I don't know, maybe it didn't work out so well. But I looked online, I really didn't see anybody who had done much with Changeling. I think the Game Geeks did a quick review of it. I didn't think that it did it justice, and I don't know. Hopefully mine did at least a little bit more justice than that one did. And I don't know, guys. Take care, and hopefully I'll come back with some more reviews or RPG related videos in the future. Take care.